Alright, so this video is mostly for a subreddit called r/short squeeze. It's got like 200,000 subscribers, and basically when MULN went from 52 cents to $1.95 in 2 days and then dropped back down to $1, I've been all in on MULN. I've been banging the table. Everyone should be all in on MULN. And a lot has updated like over the last 45 days or so. A lot has happened with MULN, other stocks as well. Nile became the next big thing on r/short squeeze. Totally dropped and failed. Then they pushed a little bit of Bed Bath & Beyond on there. They pushed a couple other like energy stocks during the MULN buildup. And so we had just weeks of crazy volatility between these off-brand stocks that haven't been crazy. Even the crazy ones, the meme stocks, GME and AMC, had their moments in the last month. And ultimately, there's one that's standing out right now, ATER. And it's the first one that they've tried pumping on r/short squeeze that has gotten more positive interaction than I got with MULN. And I wouldn't say more positive interaction, because if you see some of the interaction that's involved in mine, like between, so I'd hold these votes, these polls saying how much are you in for MULN, and I'd say, are you 100% of your portfolio in MULN, or are you 50%, or are you 25%, or are you 0%? And it's like, I can't remember the exact number, we'll go over that, but there's like 70% positive votes of people were either 100% or 50% in MULN. And I would just post like things about the Twitter interaction usage and showing 23 million impressions on MULN, and it would get 100 upvotes. And so if you look at the ATER data, or the short squeeze subreddit, if you look at the interactions and the posts, like they're getting about 100, sometimes even 200 up likes. The r/ATER stock is doing better than r/MULN stock subreddit. But this one's interesting. It's like people aren't being loud about it on social media, even though they know it's true, even though they know that like MULN is the next GME and AMC. They aren't banging on the table like they did on Wall Street Bets. Instead, people like me get banned. If you were looking in the r/short squeeze Reddit for the last month, anyone that posted something positive about MULN on that page, they would get downvoted. And it was just all hate towards MULN. MULN was the only stock that you could like get attacked for pumping. If you say any other stock in the world, there's always a bunch of up likes and there's always people saying, yeah, to the moon. But if you say something about MULN, then everyone's like, oh, you're still around? What's up with you? Like, we hate MULN. Who's we, and why do you hate MULN? That's what I want to know. And so ATER is really like when my ban on Reddit gets lifted. I have a 6-day ban that expires on Saturday and a 30-day ban from r/short squeeze. So the first one's from all of Reddit, but this one's from r/short squeeze, and that one expires Saturday or Sunday. So I'll post this video on r/short squeeze as soon as my ban is lifted from both pages. But basically, if we compare the two stocks, so I got MULN right there. Do I have ATER anywhere? ATER daily stock price. Alright, so if we look at the daily stock price, if you look at this, just no volume. Now, MULN, we're going to compare this to MULN, but we're looking back all the way in January, and we got 1 million's the low volume that it ever hit, and then it starts rallying back up. If we look, so basically from after $1, it hit $2, it hit $3, then dropped back down to $2, and basically from 242, actually 233, it's gone from 233 to 553. So just in these last 8 days, all the hype you're seeing on r/short squeeze is really from these last 8-9 trading days. And that's when the volume started to pump as well. And if you look at this volume, what is it? There's less than $1 billion worth of volume that has got this stock excited. Now let's look at ATER SEC filings. Let's come here. Let's find the last 10Q. So here's a 10Q. If we upload this guy, scroll down to I didn't see it. Let me see. We see, oh, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. So we see they diluted right here, 17 million shares. Diluted for, looks like, not important. What we really want to see is there's 500 million shares authorized. There's 27 million shares outstanding. And that was December 31, 2020. And there's 50 million shares outstanding as of September 30th, 2021. And so we know that the volume just picked up in the last 8 days. And in those last 8 days, this 50 million has been diluted for sure. And now it's probably 100 million. And so basically what's happening here is that you have a company with 500 million authorized shares that they can dilute the float with. And you're buying into a squeeze that is limited in how much it's already bought of the dilution, and the stock price is sitting around $5 right now. So if we compare that to MULN, basically, if we look at the low volume coming into the squeeze, it was falling down to 200,000 of volume, just insane lowest volume, and then it falls to the lowest price of 52 cents. Now, let's find that 52 cents. So right here, this is where it fell to the low of 52 cents. Now remember, that stock that we just looked at didn't have more than $1 billion worth of volume in the last 8 days, and that's the only volume it's seen in the last few months. Now, this one, in the first 3 days after it hit 52 cents, hit $1.2 billion in volume. The next 5 trading days, it did another billion in volume. The next 5 trading days, it did another billion in volume. The next 5 trading days, it did another billion in volume. The next 5 trading days, it did another 600-700 million in volume. The next 5 trading days, it did another 300 million in volume. So in this same crazy volume that we're seeing, regardless of the price action, we know that here they were saying the float was 20 million shares. And then here they said the float was 188 million shares, and 150 million of it was retail public float. And so basically retail owned 82% of the company. And then here, April 1st, or no, it was April 4th, that Monday. Here, we were announced that it went up to from 188 million outstanding to 240 million outstanding. And then, actually, no, it was the Monday before that. So it was actually right here. It was March 28th that we heard there was 288 million or 240 million shares outstanding from the 188 million previous shares outstanding. And all the way till now, we have not got an update on any dilution that has happened from March 29th all the way to April 14th. And so, if we look at MULN SEC filings, and we compare to their 10Q, we can go down here, right here, and we can see they also have 500 million shares authorized. Now, we know that retail owns well over, so we had 150 million the first dilution. They announced another 60 million in dilution. It's safe to assume all that went to the public retail float. So now we're at 210 million. They haven't announced new dilution in the last 3 weeks. Probably close to 250 to 300 million public float right now. And you've bought 60% of their authorized shares that they can ever dilute. Where with ATER, you're trying to squeeze a stock right now that hasn't even begun the dilution war. And now you're trying to go win a whole nother war while another war is already 50% complete or more? Come on, people. What are you thinking? If you're an ATER and you don't sell everything and put it into MULN, you whack.